winter time. I set some goals. I got a personal trainer. I started my journey to be the best I could be. 2 years later, I won my first world championship in the shot put in Edmonton, Canada, at the World Masters Games. It was held every 4 years, and there were over 20,000 athletes, just like in the Olympics. They had an opening ceremony with a parade of athletes in uniform, in the country's uniform, just like in the Olympics. Every sport was represented, just like in the Olympics. The national anthem was played for the gold medal winner, just like in the Olympics. The closing ceremony was amazing, entertainment, and a final parade of athletes, just like in the Olympics. I still remember that feeling, and as I talk about it now, I kind of get overwhelmed because I'm sitting there saying, I made it. I might not have made it at age 18, 20, but I made it. I reached that goal. I continued to just kind of set goals. That was kind of the big, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And I just never stopped. I continued to push myself. And in 2007, I went to Italy to compete in the World Masters meet. And everybody said, if you can medal at that meet, just medal, not win, but medal, you've made a great accomplishment. My sister went with me to cheer me on and also to celebrate her 60th birthday. And on the flight there, all she kept telling me is, you're going to get a medal. You're going to get a medal. And I kept saying, I hope I don't have to steal one from somebody. She said, no, you're going to win a medal. I said, okay. And you know what? I did. And I won it on her birthday. So how exciting was that? She traveled all of that way for 2 weeks with me, not just to really celebrate her birthday, but to be with me. In 2011, I won a gold medal at the World Championship. And again, winning the gold medal, you get to stand on the stand, and they play the national anthem. Of course, you know I don't have to tell you. Tears ran down my face again. One thing I can tell you is that we are all born with character. And you've got it within. You've just got to know it. We all have choices. And it's what we do with them that can change our lives and the lives of people around us. Knowledge is power, but knowledge is simply exposure to information. The definition of hope is to still believe. Be grateful even when you're going through your toughest times. And believe me, that ruptured Achilles was a tough time. You know, I had a husband that was telling me, when are you going to quit? And I was like, I can't. You know, he had to help me in the tub. It was just a whole lot of testing of a relationship. You know, first we need to know who we are and that we are special in the eyes of our Maker. We must realize that we all have a purpose. It may not be clear in the beginning, but when you find it, you'll realize that it's not all about you. It's about what you give to others. And I realized to grow and change my life, I needed to start with others. And that's why in 2005, I started the Foundation for Girls, Throwing and Growing the Merle Menzie Foundation, as my way of giving back. Mentoring, physical training, educational enrichment programs, nutritional information, character development, in an effort to just give these girls an opportunity to have a healthy, positive, successful lifestyle. Helping them set and reach their goals, not just in athletics, but in everyday life. I tell the girls my goal is for me to not let them beat me. And their goal is to beat me. And I know it's just a matter of time, and they will be throwing farther than me. But that's also the reward for me. They don't realize it. You know, they keep saying, oh, you're a professional, and I keep telling them I'm 50 years older than you. Youth should prevail at some point. I remember telling my husband some of the obstacles in mentoring today's girls, and he said, I don't know why you try so hard. Because they're not going to appreciate it, and they're not going to get it. They're not going to get the message. And I tell him, and of course, you know, he's not here, so I can talk about him. I tell him, you know, I truly believe that this is what I am supposed to be doing. You know, that if I don't do this, nothing will be right in my life. I truly believe it's God's mission for me, and it's also my passion. When I think about love, you know, love is giving without expecting anything in return. And remember, love is our most perishable commodity. When I look at the letters of love, L stands for learn to forgive. O is open your heart. V is value the people in your life. And E is every day put God first. Always remember, the great and the strong character is the one who is ready to sacrifice the present pleasures for the future good. The question is not, what are the conditions or obstacles in our life today? It's how we handle them. What you must remember is that the things that happen in your life is the best possible thing that can happen for you for that day. It's how you handle that you can turn that into a positive. When you complain, it only brings on depression, and it weakens the spirit and the power to enable us to bring new conditions in our life. So let's live. L stands for let go. I stands for indulge in what makes you happy. V, have a vision. E, expect to have an amazing day. At age 63, I am a world champion, and you can be a champion too. I have a short video that I'd like for you to see, and I have one comment after that. The video sums up character, belief, and determination. Oh, and it's not a video about me either.
The 600-meter underway. Heather Dorniden in Minnesota finished second this event a year ago. She was in lane 4.
And Dorniden is probably going to be your favorite. She actually won the NCAA championships in 2006 in the 800, but she only won one Big Ten championships in the 2 years.
3 laps in this event, 600 meters, 3 times around the 200-meter track here at the field house.
What a bold move by Fawn. She's looking very confident, and the Penn State runner is just running amazing today. She did win her heat in the 400, but ended up taking 4th overall.
That's Fawn Dorr moving into the lead, a sophomore from Penn State. Dorniden running second.
Dorniden last year scored 23 points for the Golden Gophers in their Big Ten championship, so they're really relying on getting a lot of points from her this weekend, and she's just coming by Fawn Dorr now in the home stretch, heading into the bell lap.
Oh, Dorniden falling down, gets up quickly, but that's going to cost her. Lucky she wasn't injured.
Her teammate just went to the front, though, so they may be able to recover from that. And Dorniden is flying down the backstretch.
She is catching up.
She is going to catch Fawn Dorr, and she may catch the leaders.
Wow.
Wow. She's got Fawn.
This is a gutsy effort by Dorniden. Can she pull it off? She's moved into 3rd. Dorniden coming down the stretch from the outside. Dorniden coming on strong. Dorniden all the way. Dorniden. Yes, she did it. Wow, unbelievable.
That is amazing. To fall in a 600, I mean, this is basically a sprint. I mean, this is an extended 400, basically. She'll fall with 200 meters to go and get up and win. That is unbelievable.
I don't know about you all, but I think that's pretty awesome. Would she have won that race if she hadn't fallen? We don't know. But I just want to let you know that that video was not about the race, wasn't about the training, wasn't about the fall. It was about the rise. This is what all races are about, and this is what life is about. Never, never, never give up. I just want to leave you with one message, is that for those girls that are out there that have never thought about throwing because you think it's a masculine sport, you have to be big, you have to be burly, I just want to let you know that I am all girl, I'm proud, I love to put on a short skirt with heels, and don't let those little obstacles stand in your way of you fulfilling your dream at whatever it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Merle. Our next speaker tonight is Ward Patterson, a familiar face to you all. Ward Patterson was born and raised in South Africa during the height of the apartheid era. He strove to deliberately challenge the closed-minded paradigm of this discriminatory system, including as a drafted member of the South African Army in the 1970s. As a student here at Principia College, Ward helped to found the Principia College Thunder Chicken rugby team as a player and coach, and in 1981, the Thunder Chickens were ranked 13th in the United States among all colleges and universities. Ward went on to graduate with a BA in Sociology and Political Science in 1982 from Prin, and then an MA from Ohio State University in 1986. Ward has traveled and worked in over 20 countries and has coached rugby over 24 years. In 2007, Ward coached Middlebury College to a Division II national championship title. Currently, Ward is the Principia College Thunder Chicken head coach, also the manager in the Mail and Copy Center here on campus. Warm welcome for Ward Patterson.
Thank you, Nicole. Please bear with me this evening. I have had a long day, and I've had to rewrite my speech at least 3 times, once literally during dinner. So if I do get a little lost, bear with me. The message that came to me over dinner: listen, listen, and listen. Character education is not a game of gimmicks. It's not a game of formulas or hot buttons that you can push. It is that magnificent unfoldment, that tulip bulb that stays in the ground the entire winter, and that marvelous time in the spring when the sun is warm and the days are sunny. Out comes this incredibly beautiful flower and rises and shines in the magnificence of daylight. We all have that in us. Our character is not gone or not missing. It might be buried under some mortal mind idea. It might be buried under the hype of society's expectations. But I guarantee you it is lying there passionately wanting to come forward in full bloom. I want to share with you a couple of stories in my life of listening to the right person at the right time. I arrived at boarding school at 10 years old, just a wee podgy and definitely a mommy's boy, and completely incapable of dealing with the wolves in the den that I was to be cast into. And in short order, they ate well on me. And they unfortunately made me one of them, because I had neither developed the principles nor the moral courage to stand and say, not on my turf. And so I was
swooped into theirs. By the time I was 12, there wasn't a thing I wasn't doing: lying, stealing, cheating, smoking, drinking, bullying, badgering, tormenting. Not a pleasant sight for a 12-year-old kid. And I was in a lot of trouble. And then I had my moment. I remember standing with the door at my back in this little office late in the homework session evening, and Mr. Mullins was right there, giving me yet another tongue lashing, justifiably earned. And at the end, he took his moment and he looked me right in the eye and he says, "You know, you're better than this." And that was my moment to reflect as I left that room, and it stuck with me. Obviously, those words stuck with me because I can share them with you tonight. And Mr. Mullins is an incredible guy, because no matter what else he did in the 3 years I was with him, those words are the ones that stuck with me. That me, my family, my siblings, my values were better than I was living. And I took that inspiration and I looked at my life and I said, this is the path I'm going on. I shall stand on my moral ground from now on. I did everything I had to not only change schools, apply to a new high school, do the applications, admissions exams, the whole thing. In the fall of that year, I arrived. Clean slate, new city, 1,000 miles from home. And I never looked back, because I'd learned where to stand and how to stand. Roll forward a wee bit, and I'm sitting at home. I'm 22 years old, and I've got this desire, finally, at 22, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to use my smarts. I'm going to find that passion within me to use my education. And I'd worked a deal with my employer to pay me and pay for my college at the same time. Right? So I'm at home with Mom and Dad. My plan. Look, see? And the whole discussion goes on and on and on. And in my left ear is this darling mother saying, "Principia, Principia, Principia." And I'm going, "No, my plan, my plan." And that afternoon, I was leaving home to go be with my friends. And my dad heard me down the passage and said, "Come here, young man." "Yes, Dad." And I stood in the doorway to his study, and he was right there, and he turned his chair around, and he looked at me and he said, "You say you want to be educated." And he said, "You can go anywhere in the world and find a plaque and hang it on your wall. But there is only one place in the world you can go to get an education. And that's Principia College." Small side note, not a Christian Scientist, not a Principian, but he had the blessings of being married to one. And he had learned the values of this institution and what it means to have an education, a real education. And again, the words stuck with me. I can replay from that moment on February 13th, 1978 to midnight, February 14th, 1978, as if it happened yesterday. My life changed. And I listened to my spirit screaming at me, "You have to listen. This is what you have to do." And I did. I listened to know. By then I was a smart enough Christian Scientist to know that my direction lies in the path that I must go, despite all my human expectations and passions and paradigms. I must follow, and I did. I arrived here that fall, and despite my horrific hatred of apartheid and all of that goes with it, the brainwashing and propaganda of 22 plus years had soaked in a lot more than I had bargained. And I remember sitting in a School of Government classroom with Jerry Collister, and I'm in the back right-hand corner of this classroom, and I'm pontificating about my ideas. And 2 rows over to my left is a guy called Njuguna Wanjiru from Nairobi. And I remember him rocking back a little on his chair, and he looked over at me, and I noticed him kind of like, "Yep." And he looked at me and he says, "Who the hell are you?" Poof, there went my balloon, okay? And he was absolutely correct. The ideas I was spouting forth were garbage. They were racist, Period. End of discussion. There was no further point to it. And I had a true blessing while I was here. Chumebo Ozo, a Nigerian survivor of the Biafran Civil War, and Kwaku Anomo from Ghana. Those three men never let me go. They tormented me, barraged me, harassed me, and proved with principle repeatedly to ensure that racism would never stay with me. And I've been blessed to continue that work, to eradicate it in every place I see it in my life. To the point actually where that young man right there actually asked me to work the other day saying, when you left South Africa, were you a racist? And I said, yeah, because that's who I was, not who I am. Every step we take is better. They can't take it away from you. Yeah, but I'm even better today, and I coach a better program today than I did when I won this. Every step we take, we go forward.